We are live. Let's get ready to podcast.
Fire it up.
Welcome back to another live and amplified indie fusion podcast. I'm your host, Tom Quad. We're back at it again with another amazing podcast. Today we have a very special guest joining us. We have Ellie Rivera. How's it going today?
I'm doing good, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's Monday, but it doesn't feel like a Monday, so I'll take that as a win. So.
Oh, that's good. My Monday definitely feels like a Monday today.
Right. I think it's just because I got to work remote today, so I didn't have to actually go into the office, and it's like, I enjoy this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wish I could have worked from home today, too. That would have been nice.
Right. It's one of those things where it's like we spent so much time during the pandemic, like, oh, I hate working remote. And now it's like, oh, I actually kind of like it because I could sleep until 8:30 and roll out of bed and be at work on time. So
definitely, it's a luxury. I miss it.
Right. So how's everything going? How's Nashville treating you?
Oh, Nashville's great. I love it here. I've been here my whole life. So it's I couldn't wish for anything better.
Nice. So you're a rare unicorn.
I am. I've heard that a lot, but I don't feel like it. I feel like people say there's not that many Nashville natives anymore, but everyone that I've grown up with have been here my entire life with me. So
Fair. Maybe it's Nashville natives that are still in the music industry. Maybe that's more of what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of the way I've got to slice it down, because it's like, I'm sure there's a lot of Nashvillians that live there that aren't in the music industry. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, for sure. So first off, I want to congratulate you on your new single. It's a really killer song, and yeah.
Thank you. Notions it's my baby. I've been working on that. It's been in the works for maybe about like a year and a half, and I've just poured so much of myself into it. I couldn't be happier with my first song to come out. I wouldn't have it any other way.
For sure. What was it about the song that you wanted it to kind of be your first representation of who you are?
Well, I had a couple other songs that I was were gonna be in the lead as my first, my debut single, but kind of just as time progressed and how I kept evolving as a songwriter and a singer even, that song just kind of identified with me the most at the time. So I think that one just kind of stuck out.
Nice. And you said it's been in the works for a little bit, right?
Oh yeah. It's at least a year and a half. I wrote it maybe about 2 years ago even now.
Okay.
So it's just been evolving this entire time.
Nice. And was Notions a song that you were playing out actively during the entire process, or have you not been playing out that much since you started writing music and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, Notion, since I've had it, I've been playing it at write-arounds and getting a chance to do that live a bunch of times, which kind of gave me the learning curve of where I want certain things to be or where I don't, where to take it out. So it's just been that whole time I've been able to fully flesh it out.
Yeah, for sure. That is a wise move. I've told a lot of people, because, once you kind of get a certain point in your music career, you just start releasing songs because you kind of feel like you know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like some of the best music is music that, even if you're not playing it at big shows, but you're going to writers' rounds and stuff like that and just kind of secretly putting it in there, it gives the song a chance to mature.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. That's what I've been doing, with all my songs that I have coming out. I have about 6 to 8 songs that I'm looking at releasing this year. I've gotten the chance to play around with those and really do that live, which has been a great opportunity and which I'm really excited about releasing.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like you've kind of took your time with the entire process, and it's Notions is that first good step. And then, just kind of having that second one at the ready, and, because that's going to be the difference maker, is the consistency. So.
Oh, yeah. I've heard I've done a lot of research this past year of just how starting out as a small artist and starting like not really that much of a fan base at like the beginning of my career,
Hmm.
or releasing like single after single, like rather than doing an album or an EP, even just to like kind of build and full out flesh that like fan base too, like find
Hmm.
people who relate to your stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to be doing that.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like there's a whole bunch of different ways to kind of put music out there. I have a way that I tell musicians that I think works, but I think at any given point, especially with you just kind of starting the process of releasing music, just getting anything out there is better than having nothing out there, you know?
That's sure. That's definitely, I've learned that. So
Yeah.
I'm just excited to put my stuff out in the world finally.
Hmm. Was there a light switch moment for you that you were like, you know what, I got to start putting stuff out?
Oh yeah, that happened to me like maybe when I was 20. I was like I've sat on these too much. Like I got to start making movement. I got to start, I got to start my journey.
Hmm. And at that point, who were you kind of like at that point, were you writing music or when you kind of had that epiphany moment, were you just kind of playing like cover songs or were you also still writing your own music at that
Oh,
point?
at that point, I had probably just written my first full song. So I haven't been songwriting for long. Maybe like I've tried my entire life to like
Hmm.
get a song out, but nothing ever really clicked for me. And then it was when I had that moment when I was 20 that like that whole thing just came out and I was like, whoa. I was
Yeah.
like, what that feels like. And that was such an amazing moment. And that's actually, I'm planning on releasing that song too.
Nice.
Excited for everyone to get to hear that. But yeah, that was that moment for me.
Sweet. I love it. It's really cool, especially when you start songwriting at a little bit more mature age. I'm not going to say older because 20 is still not that old,
Oh, you're
but
gonna hear I feel old.
no, you're trust me, you're not old. I'm 37 years old and I feel it. So, it's one of those deals where it's just like kind of having gone through life a little bit and just enjoying the journey and then starting to write your own music. I feel like you're already at it such an advanced step as far as like what you're writing about because I talked to so many musicians that started writing when they were like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old and then they end up releasing it but then getting rid of it because it's about the boy in the corner of 5th grade, like whatever it
Yeah,
is. So,
yeah.
you know.
But that's definitely, I'm glad to have been able to like, I don't want to like live some of my life before that kind of like that moment happened, but
Yeah.
I guess yeah, that's what happened, and I'm grateful for that though.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. So I don't remember if it was on your Instagram or maybe your Spotify, that you label yourself as alternative R&B.
I do, yes. I feel like it's a very touchy subject because like I don't know what to call myself. And
You
so
shouldn't have to call yourself anything.
you're right. I shouldn't be putting myself in a box. I feel like I should just let whatever's going to happen happen. But
Hmm.
I've had like a lot of different inspirations growing up. Like a lot of it came from like my favorite singers growing up were Adele and Sam Smith. So you kind of get that like soul in there with that
Hmm.
pop mix. And then like as I've gotten older, I got into a lot of R&B artists.
Hmm.
So like Alicia Keys, I got into SZA, and I was into like Etta James singing that from a young age, and that kind of just like helped me develop what I felt like my voice kind of catered to, which
Hmm.
is that soul aspect. And then the alternative, I don't know, just the way that I write, I think like my words and how I songwrite is definitely not the typical R&B. So I just kind of like I was like, let me just throw that mesh in there and see if that sticks.
Right, right, right. It's just such an interesting like cross section of the industry because it's like right now with the rise of Spotify and TikTok and all that stuff, like I feel like genres are it that's almost becoming a gimmick at this point where it's like, oh, I'm gonna just call myself this and see who can come up with the most absurd genre name.
Most fusion kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because, and I have this conversation all the time where it's like, what I love about the music industry right now is, yes, you have your country, you have like your traditional country, rock, rap, hip hop,
Yeah.
R&B, jazz. You know, you have your traditional genres that you could categorize yourself under, but there's so much genre bending going on right now because people grew up influenced and had so much access to any kind of music they ever wanted. You know, like when I was a little kid, the only like reggae music I ever heard was Bob Marley, and
Okay.
that's what I thought like reggae music was. And it's like now it's like no, there's so much more to it. So yeah.
I think that's true. Yeah, getting to like hear all these different kinds of things, even just like the generation growing up right now, I
Hmm.
got exposed to a lot more things. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
especially Spotify and stuff like that.
Oh,
It's like yeah.
that's for
So
sure.
Um, so with Notions, what's kind of the story behind this song?
The the story about that is more of like a kind of about like being led on kind of thing, like the realization of being led on. I don't know if you've heard of like the term like breadcrumbing,
Mm-hmm.
where like, you know, like someone's just kind of like leading you on, but that's more or less of what that song is about.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And is this kind of is like the next few release because you said you have what six more after this or five more?
Yeah, about six more. Yeah.
Six are they all kind of following the same kind of topic or are they just kind of all different and
They are kind of following that same kind of topic. So like me, I write a lot of sad songs, like sad heartbreak songs. That tends to be like what comes the easiest for me, like as far as like storytelling and the words and that. Like I don't know what kind of like music would speak to you, but like growing up, like the most that I would feel when I would be listening to music would be like the sad songs.
Mhm,
Like really get in my feelings and I could really just like relate and like I'm like,
mhm.
oh, that just hit me in my heart right there.
Yep.
And that's kind of just like what formed, I guess, what I write about too, is like I
Mhm.
want to be able to do that same thing that I was able to hear growing up and do that for like someone else, you know?
Mhm. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I love hearing you say that because that's kind of the era of music that I'm in right now. Is it's like I'm really been getting into Teddy Swims, even though I did
Yeah.
not like any of his music like a year ago or a year and a
Okay.
half ago. And
Yeah.
then I heard Lose Control and I was like,
Yes.
oh my God, this
Yeah.
song is like it. Like,
Yeah. Oh
this
yeah.
is, yeah.
Teddy
Uh,
Swims has definitely been killing the game lately.
right. And so that, and then just like any emo sad boy song out there right now, it's probably on my
Yeah.
playlist. And
I love
so,
that. I love to hear it.
right. And I mean, it's really no different than anything I grew up listening. Like I grew up listening to like Linkin Park and
Oh,
stuff like that, like the new metal, sad new metal type stuff, or deep new metal, I guess is a better way to kind of call it. But it's really no different than what I grew up listening to. It's just I don't tell a whole lot of people that I listen to Teddy Swims. So
well, thank you for telling me. Thank you for trusting me with that.
yeah, it's well now everybody listening to the podcast knows, but you know it is what it is. So
it's a it's a safe space.
right. So with Notions out, do you know when the next song's coming, or is that still kind of in the
Yeah.
process?
So the last thing that I have to do for that song is the vocals, and then it'll be done. So I'm
Nice.
hoping for like a end of February, early March release is what I'm hoping for. And I'll go ahead and give you the title too, a little sneak peek. It's going to be called Watered Down.
Nice.
Yes.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear it.
Yes, I'm excited.
So, what's been one of the biggest learning curves kind of going through this process of recording and releasing music? Obviously, you're got your first one out now. So, if anybody's listening, it's in the description below after this podcast. Please go give it a listen. Um, what's been like the biggest learning curve for you in the process of releasing music?
Oh my God. I feel like this whole time, like since the first time I've been in the studio, I've learned so much, like so much. A lot of things that I never realized about like
Hmm.
production and like vocals and getting everything like the instruments and just like how everything comes together, how much work goes into that. as well as like the songwriting aspect, like of how things will change or how words will change, or once you like sing it out, if you need to like tweak something here or like do something there. It's like so much technicalities that
Yeah.
I never realized. Yeah, but that's definitely been the biggest thing, to where I'm having to like learn how to like maneuver and kind of like find my artistry, I want to say,
Hmm.
and like how I want to like have a run, if I want to do a run here, or like if I want to like belt here or do quieter here. It's been crazy just like learning how to do that.
Nice. And so even though you grew up in and around Nashville, were you around the scene a lot, or is this kind of like your first foray into the scene, period?
This is like I'm fully just jumping in right now. I've never been exposed to like any of it before. So
Hmm.
like everything's new to me. Like learning about how to like book gigs on my own, or like I started a band and we've been doing like small shows like in my
Hmm.
town, and it's been crazy having to learn everything, because like I didn't realize like you're your own manager, you're doing your own marketing, every
Hmm.
motion you're having to write your own songs and do your own it's crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I've never been exposed to any of that though, so it's all new.
Nice, nice, nice. So you're coming in with a fresh perspective and not jaded by the industry yet, which is amazing. I love it. Just keep the optimism and keep the fresh perspective. Like just
Thank
keep that.
you.
So
Thank you. We try.
right, right, right. So you'd mentioned that learning how to book shows. How often are you playing right now? Are you playing pretty consistently, or is it very hit or miss?
Oh yeah, so I took a little bit of a break in August. I was booking shows. Maybe I'd have like a band gig or two a month, and then I was doing a lot of ride arounds, maybe like two or three a week.
Hmm.
Be like throw in an acoustic show somewhere in there. I was having a lot of shows going on. But then in August, I took a little bit of a break to focus on more of my originals so I can
Hmm.
really get that, like all those ready to be released. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely getting ready to jump back in. So like I have two writing rounds coming up this week, and I'm really excited to get started back on those too.
Nice. That's really cool. Hopefully, I'll be out in Nashville the 18th through the 21st. So hopefully, I'll be able to
Okay.
catch a show.
Yeah, if I book something, I'll post it everywhere. Yeah, I'd love to
Nice.
have.
I'm trying to, because usually when I come out to Nashville, I don't go to shows that often, which is odd. Like, I go there and I work all day. Like, I'll do podcasts all day, and then by the time 6:30 rolls around, it's like the last thing I want to do is go out and meet with people. I've just had like sensory overload for the last 12 hours. So.
Oh yeah, trust me, I'm definitely the same way. I have like there's so many shows here going on like almost every day.
Mhm.
And there's like a lot of like venues that I've wanted to go check out, but like at the end of the workday, I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I could do it.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to go down Broadway, like
Oh
I
yeah.
avoid that place like the
Oh yeah.
plague. Like I am good.
I rarely go down there if I don't have to.
Right, right, right. I
Yeah.
remember I went to Nashville like right before the pandemic, like in
Oh,
January of 2020. And this was the first time that it was like more than just me. It was like me and a group of my cohorts for Live and Amplified. Like it was just
okay.
we, we
Nice.
we were coming through and doing like acoustic sessions, and we had a morning off. It was like a Monday morning, and we had it off. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's go down Broadway and see what's going on there. And it was like Monday morning at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
and it was like the Vegas Strip
Oh yeah.
in January. And I'm like, wait, it's like 9 a.m. on a Monday. Don't y'all gotta like work or something? Then you realize like, no, these are all like out of towners that are here to drink and have fun.
The
So
people on vacation.
right,
Like
right,
good time.
right. And so I was just like, I was like, well, let's park. Let's find a place to park and go check out a bar for an hour. Check out one of these spots.
Oh,
And
okay.
then the parking was like astronomically expensive, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So
Yeah. That's one hard thing. Like I would go downtown more, but like if it weren't for the
mhm,
traffic and the parking and how crazy it gets on the weekends.
mhm.
Yeah, it definitely is crazy down there.
I'm so good on it. I
Mm.
like I pass every time. So That's awesome. So outside of music, what do you like to get into? What do you do to kind of decompress?
Oh, that's a tough question. I don't know. I think music is my decompress.
Fair.
You know, oh, you got me there.
Well, I mean, if you're working a full time job, I can totally understand music being your decompression. So,
Yeah, I'm working 40 hours a week right now, and it's just like I come home, I'll do my music, and then I'll like watch some TV, and I'm
nice,
for the day.
nice. What are you watching right now, like on TV? What's got your interest?
I've been rewatching New Girl.
Okay,
Yeah, that's definitely one. I'm more of a sci-fi kind of girl, so I'll rewatch like Marvel all the time. That's probably my favorite.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And then, is there anybody you're listening to right now that's really interesting or kind of speaking to you on a creative level?
Oh, okay. Um, Amy Winehouse has definitely been like something that's been repeat on my playlist. How she writes and like her jazz vibe. I've definitely been listening to a lot of her as well as like SZA
Hmm.
because of how she writes too. And then there's this new artist that I've been listening to. She's based out of London, and I think she's like one of the like top 10 to watch.
Hmm.
Her name is Sasha Keeble, and
Okay.
this one song by her called Why, and oh my god, I've been in love with that. That's been on repeat.
Nice. I will have to check her out. Like uh the UK is like a hotbed for talent right now.
Oh yeah,
There's something going on there. I don't know what it is yet, but there
some
is.
water. I don't know. It's crazy. The
Right?
town is crazy.
Right? I mean, there's always been something in the water there. I feel like they always go through like a boom period and then they'll just kind of die down a little bit and then just every 10 years or so it just kind of goes crazy. So,
Yeah, they get a bunch of people coming out of there. But yeah, you'll definitely have to check her out.
awesome, awesome. And then I know you mentioned that you got like you're in the process of putting more music out, but where do you kind of find yourself creatively right now? Do you find that you're a little bit more in a writing phase, or do you find that because you're kind of in the releasing process, you've not been writing as much recently?
I feel like I've been writing when I can, but yeah, my mind's been really occupied by like marketing and like rollout plans and what I got
Hmm.
in that aspect as well as like booking shows. That's been taking up a lot of my space.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. And obviously, booking shows is never easy because what is it for every 100 emails you send out, maybe you'll get four responses back, and
Mm-hmm. That's been a hard truth that I've had to learn.
right, right. Now, do you have your like go to in and around Nashville that you go to, or is it you're fully exploring and trying to find places now?
See, right now, like in Nashville, I'm still in that phase where I'm trying to find places where I can like maybe like do a little bit of shows and maybe stay there for a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
there's this one place in my hometown, which is in Mount Juliet, like 20 minutes outside of Nashville. It's called Cat's Bar and Grill.
Mm-hmm.
And I do a lot of gigs there. I love the owner. She's one of the first places that I ever had a gig, and that place is like kind of in my heart, and I'm there a lot too.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It's cool to kind of have your home base, just as far as like places go to
Oh,
play.
yeah.
So,
It's been amazing getting to perform there. That was the first place I ever had a band gig as well. So like getting to like practice there and kind of like
mhm.
feel comfortable and at ease, knowing that I'm like in a safe space
Mhm.
is a great opportunity.
Nice. What was it about the putting a band together? Because that's a like a really ambitious goal, especially this early in your music career, is putting a band together. Was that something you always wanted to do, or is that something more like you felt like you had to do?
Um, I think I always thought it'd be really awesome to like perform with the band and just get like everything like full live aspect of like
Mm-hmm.
the drums, the bass, everything like coming together and kind of like that like really like almost magical moment.
Hmm.
But I did have a like I tried to book a show at a place and they were like, we don't exactly do acoustic gigs. They were like, get a band together and come back. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I will get a band together and I'll be back for you. I was like, I'll be back.
Nice. Leave it to a venue to kind of push you in one direction. So,
Oh yeah, definitely light a fire under me.
right, right, right. And so, when did you just kind of start asking, how did the band kind of come together? I guess that's like the easiest way for me to ask this question.
Oh my God. Okay, it's kind of crazy. So so the piano player that I have, his name is Kenny Ang. He's awesome. He's killer. I met him at one of my old serving jobs that I worked at.
Hmm.
So it was like this little restaurant outside and like in my hometown called Mori Mori, and we met there. And then like we kind of just like found out that we both did music, and
Hmm.
I was like, okay. I was like, would you be interested in maybe like gigging together? I was like, and he was one of the first ones that I ever went out to gig with like consistently. And that was a really good opportunity. So that's how we met. And then I met my drummer through him. So like
Nice.
I knew him from school. And then my guitarist, I knew him from school too. So like all these people, a lot of them we just grew up around and it kind of just like came together.
Nice. So it was just, it came together maybe not easily, but just naturally.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say natural. Sure.
Yeah.
Having
Nice.
that history of like, like knowing each other when we grew up kind of thing.
Hmm.
And still being
Nice.
like everyone still being in the music as well as like wanting to go out and gig and being interested in that for sure.
Yeah. I dig it. 100% dig it. I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear your neck or your new music coming up. I definitely love Notions and
Thank
the,
you.
all that, and just can't wait to hear more. So,
Yes, I'm excited. I hope you like the rest of them too.
right. I definitely got to try and catch a gig, and I can't wait for you to start touring out. Like, that's the one cool thing about Nashville is it's such a launching pad. And
Oh,
I think like once you get your feet wet in Nashville, it's going to open up doors to kind of get outside of Nashville a bit. And if you're willing to do that.
oh, that's the dream right there. That's the dream.
Right. And especially, because I keep telling all these young musicians that are coming fresh out of high school that are like 17, 18, 19 years old, asking how they make it in the music industry. And it's like, honestly, if you've got music ready to go in the can, just get out,
Yeah.
uh, get out and play. Like, that's going to be your best bet. Like,
Yeah.
take your,
One thing. That's where
your,
like I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. Good.
I'm just like I'm excited about like getting to do my originals and like teach my band that and like being able to start like opening for the openers is what I've been saying.
Hmm.
And definitely like getting to like play my originals and do all that. I'm so excited for that.
Hmm. And especially when you're still so young that even if you were to say like, okay, I'm going to take 3 months and just hit the road and see what happens, it's like you come back and it's either, okay, that was worth it, or okay, I'm $10,000 in debt. Sick. I love it, but I'll pay it back and get back to it.
It's all about the experience though. I feel like that would be incredible.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure. It's yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'm not giving anybody financial advice because I am not the person to be doing that. So I love it. So Ellie, thank you so much for joining us. I absolutely appreciate you and your time, and hopefully I'll get to catch a show or catch something when I'm out in Nashville here in a few weeks. Wow, that's a few weeks away. That scares me so much
Oh,
right now.
are you excited?
Yeah, I mean, yes, because I'm going out there and I'm doing a whole bunch of podcasts and stuff like that. So that's what's keeping me going. But I'm also a little bit nervous because
You just
it
never know.
you just never know. There's always something that could go wrong. There's always so
Got to stay on your toes.
right, right, and it's just one of those things where it's like I know I should be out in Nashville right now, like permanently,
Oh yeah.
but it's just one of those things where it's like I
It's
don't know. I don't know if I could handle Nashville full time. Like,
it's definitely something you gotta take in doses sometimes.
right, right,
Yeah.
right. And it's also one of those conversations that I've had would be like, would I burn myself out in Nashville? Like, if I had to do like, because it'd be cool to do daily podcasts in person, do them like in person, but would I wear out my welcome?
Okay. I
So
definitely think it's cool though, that's for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, we'd
All right.
love to have you.
You're not the only person to tell me that. It's like Texas people in Texas tell me that all the time. They're like, "Oh, come up to Fort Worth," and it's like, I'd love to, but I don't know. Whatever. I know if I were to move to Nashville, my dad would be happy because I'd be in a vicinity in which he would come visit me more often. So,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, that'd be good. He'd definitely love that then.
Right.
You
But he
gotta,
lives.
Nashville's pulling you.
I know it is. But if I were to tell all my friends here, it's like, hey, I'm leaving to go to Nashville. They'd be like, okay, you're just like everybody else, going to Nashville, going to
Oh,
Nashville, and it's like,
oh,
I get it, but y'all are gonna come too. Y'all are like super talented. It ain't no thing. Like I understand Nashville's or Texas has got its charm, and the industry's moving to Texas. Like I'm not afraid to admit that. Like I definitely think there's an avenue to pursue here. But realistically, where I'm at in Texas, I either need to go up to Dallas or I need to go down to Austin. So
oh, okay.
yeah.
She's got all by ear.
Yeah. The way I look at it, in the next 2 years, I got to move. Whether it's Nashville, Dallas, or Austin, we'll
Okay, well,
find
you got
out.
to figure it out then.
Right?
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
right.
I think whatever you do, it'll be a good choice, though.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it will be. So, but if anybody wants to check out your music, all that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you?
I am on Spotify and I'm on Instagram at Ellie Rivera.
Awesome. I dig it. I dig it. And then just because I think this will be fun, what's one piece of advice you have for the young musicians out there?
Oh, um, I think just if you have a dream, to not give up on it. I know that sounds cheesy, but to work hard, to do everything you can to get to where you want to be.
I get it.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm with it. So, once again, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your time. It's been a blast chatting with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yep, absolutely. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will catch you all later. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Live and Amplified's Indie Fusion podcast. If you'd like to support anything Live and Amplified does, please follow us on all of our social media platforms at Live, the letter N, Amplified. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, any of them, all of them, at Live, the letter N, Amplified. And if you would like to buy any official Live and Amplified merch, you can do so at our merch shop, link in the description below. Once again, thank you all. Have a great day.